Hello everyone and welcome to the next in our series of daily origami for YouTube. Today we're going to continue our theme of looking at traditional origami, and today we're going to make a water lily. And this particular origami, you just use regular square piece of paper. I'm going to be using traditional size paper that's 15 by 15 centimeters. And I'll let you guys know the dimensions when we're finished. If you want to make kind of a bigger flower, I kind of think in general this is sort of a small water lily when you're finished with things. It's not very maybe lifelike. You probably want it to be just a tad bit bigger. But I'll show you guys the way things look here when we're all done. I'm going to be just, like I said, just using regular origami paper. This does tend to work really good if you use paper that can kind of be sculpted a little better. Some really nice thick paper that you can really kind of bend and play with, or if you want to use a bit of water, if you're interested in doing some of that kind of technique, then it works pretty good for this as well. So regular origami paper makes it look a little geometric-y, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is start with our color side facing down. I want to just put some basic creases in my paper, so I'm just going to fold my paper in half, both horizontally and vertically. Once you've got those creases, open everything up, and then I'm going to fold each of these four corners into the center here. Once you've got all four corners folded into the center, we're going to do the same step here again, folding into where these open flaps are. So I'm just going to fold right into the center. Try to keep things as straight and smooth as you can. So you get all of those folded into the center here. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to do that one more time, folding into the center, called a blitz base, or in Japanese we call it a zabuton base. Get this guy all in here. This last part can be a little tricky. There's a lot of layers of paper. You want to try to keep things as smooth as you can. So you got all of those folded into the center. Now what we want to do is I'm going to take this part back here, and I want to kind of pop it out into the other side. And you don't want to tear everything. So the best thing to do is just open things up for a second and take that back flap, just kind of let things stay open for a second. Open it up, bring these both back right into the center, and it should leave you with this nice little section here that kind of looks like a petal for a flower. I'm just going to go around and do that for the rest of the sides. So it's just really best to just kind of open things up, pull that back flap out and around, and then just bring everything back into the center. Now don't smush any of this down. We want to leave that kind of open like that. That makes the petals. I'll do this side too. So we're just kind of reversing things as we go here. So that when you're finished, you should be able to bring all four of those sides into the center, and you should have these four nice kind of like little rounded areas that are the petals of our water lily. And that kind of gives you just the beginnings of this. And then we're just going to finish things off by taking each of these flaps from outside and folding them up. And this is a point where, if you wanted to, you could use a little pencil, for example, to kind of help curl this up so that it kind of creates more of a kind of a petal feel to it, because the rest of the parts here create a nice little pretty little scalloped kind of edge there. And this is really where if you had good thick paper, this could really create a nice effect. This origami paper doesn't really hold it so well, but we're just trying to kind of bring stuff around. And if you're using a much bigger model, you can really kind of, I'm pinching just with my fingers here, but you could put like a glass here to sort of hold things down as you sort of try to sculpt your flower to make it look more like a actual water lily. But that can kind of give you what would be your finished little water lily there. And you can see really, it really doesn't give very much of the, because of the kind of paper I used, it doesn't really hold it as well as, say, it would if it was with some other paper. But you could kind of really just, even if you wanted to put it in some place to kind of hold it up like this for a while, if you want to, you kind of stick it in a bowl or in a cup and keep those sides kind of up more to give it more of the shape that you want. That's the finished little water lily there. Let you guys know the dimensions. Of course, it's going to be having this base that's 7.5 by 7.5 centimeters. And I guess if you're looking at this three-dimensional part of it, it stands about 4 centimeters tall, depending at the kind of highest peak when these are sticking up kind of funky here. So we're looking at a 7.5 centimeter square base. And the height is about 4 centimeters high. That gives you an idea of the finished dimensions of that there. But that should give you your finished water lily, which is our finished project for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.